Okay, welcome to Confession Tuesday. Sorry, we're starting late. We got overwhelmed with the last segment and we just had to spill into this time, right? Apologies for that. It's 2:28 and we'll be doing this till the top of the hour. And this would avail anybody who has anything on their minds to speak it out and just let it go. If you have been carrying a burden or you've been hiding some skeletons in your cupboard, it's time to open it up and just let the fresh air come in so you can have some sort of succor and relief. And that's what we get to do on Confession Tuesday. So if you have anything personal, secret, you don't have to call your name, you don't have to expose yourself. Just simply call and let it out. That's how we do it here. So I encourage you, if you have any of such issues, to send a message, to record a voice note, to call the number 0700-951-0000. Okay, and then you can also dial 080-9597-4869. WhatsApp is 080-999-30137. As we go on with our confession today, we wouldn't be opening up the lines to take comments. Remember, that's how we do it, right? We take our confessions. I could chip in a thing or two. Tomorrow, though, would make it more open so people can throw in their comments and advice here and there in the case that you want to comment. So please, let's just let people who have issues that they want to speak out have their own say. And that's how we will be doing it until 3 o'clock. So we have another 27 or 26 minutes to go. We may just get started right away. Once again, 0700-951-0000. And don't forget, you can send a message or record a voice note on 080-999-30137. Hello.
Auntie Swat, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
It's a pleasant one to hear you again.
Same today. Here. You're welcome.
Okay. Well, mine is not so much like a secret such, but I just wanted to say it. About a year ago, I work part-time as an e-hailing driver here in the city of Abuja.
Okay.
So about a year ago, I met this client. I was working late at night and I met him, and he used to call me to pick him to different places, but mostly late at night. So it so happened that he is a friend to the current, he's a friend to the son of the current president. That's Sheyi Tinubu. So I know because I've taken him to meet with him a couple of times, a couple of places. So about this time last year, I think, next month to make it about a year, he told me something. I think that the president had been declared winner, and it was obvious that he's going to become president. So he told me one day while I was taking him home, he was tipsy, and he called my name and he said, "Exit Naira." So I didn't know what he was trying to say. I just took it that he was tipsy, because he says a lot of things when he's tipsy. He says so many things I can't begin to talk about, but he said this is like a family secret, but I should take him seriously, that I should exit Naira. So I said, okay, I've heard you, sir.
That you should exit Naira.
So he was like,
is it exit Naira?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, exit Naira. That means if I have any kind of savings, I should abandon it. And by this time, Buhari was still president and the Naira was still around 500, 600 thereabouts. So when he was saying it, everything was still kind of stable, So I took it that he was high. Probably that's why he was saying those things. So he was very emphatic. He repeated it several times, and I said, okay, I've heard him, and now looking at the current situation from hindsight, I'm now beginning to see that probably it truly was like a family secret. He probably knew something, and if that is the case, I think most of us Nigerians would be hoping that the people who put us in this situation would solve the problem, which would be impossible, because what that might mean is that if he knew through his association with the son of the president, that means other family members and friends who are close would also know and would have already moved whatever savings or family money they had, to other accounts. So I just find that really. I just said I should let it out. Like I've been thinking about it. It has never made any sense to me up until now.
Yeah.
And I'm beginning to feel like, wow, there's so much that goes on that we as a people may not know, and sometimes they have unimaginable impact. What else? So I just said I should let it out.
All
I
right.
have other confessions, but this would be enough for one afternoon.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for calling.
All right.
All right.
All right. Have a pleasant one.
Yeah, you too. Sometimes when you get in some certain circles, you get to hear things. Things with a capital T. Sorry, I said T. Anyways, yeah. Sometimes when people tell you things, it doesn't make sense. Sometimes it sinks in after a day or two, sometimes months after, sometimes years. And I understand that that's emotion you're going through, because right now with the current reality, it has just jerked your mind back to that place, right? Anyways, thank you for confessing. And we move on to the next one. Unique from Gwagwalada just wants to say, well done work to me. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Good afternoon, says Hafsat. Good afternoon to you. And appreciate that. Good afternoon, Swat. My confession is I still love my ex-boyfriend so much, even when he left me for someone he called his ex. I can't help it. Please, I need advice because I'm so in love with him. I miss him so much. He left you for an ex and you're still in love with him. What does your being in love with him suffice? If he loved you that much, he wouldn't leave you for another person. So he obviously doesn't. And that's why he's with someone else, right? This thing about rat race. Somebody's chasing somebody that's chasing another person, and it goes on and on. But I don't believe that, though. There are instances where you meet somebody and the person loves you and you love the person equally back. Now, think about it this way. Is it worth it spending your time brooding, crying, wishing, hoping that he'll come back to you? And even if he did, would you honestly accept him back because he left you because you're not good enough for him and he left to an ex? I don't think it's worth it. See, this is something I'll tell you, right? You will get over this. Right now, it looks hard, or it seems very hard. It's heavy in your heart. It's pinning you. You're feeling like everything has been taken away from you. You're thinking, what would life be without this guy? Maybe because of moments and memories and stuff like that. But one thing I can assure you with every confidence I have is that you get over this. Give yourself a little time. Delve yourself into important things like your hobbies, your work, your friends, your family. And every day will become lighter and lighter, okay, for you. But if you stay in one place, you're brooding, you're crying, then you may not necessarily go over it in good time. But for now, involve yourself in activities of interest to you. Go to work, give your best, form new friendships, form new acquaintances. Do what you love to do, like watching a movie or something, and give yourself time. Let's talk about this in another 1 or 2 months. I'm sure you tell me I don't feel anything anymore. Because we all have been through this motion before and it felt like, oh, I cannot live my life again. But it's not true. It's not true. You get over it, okay? So stop thinking too much about it and stop paying attention to someone who didn't find you worthy in the first place. You will leave and you find someone who loves you enough to stay with you for all that it's worth. Okay? Thank you so much. I hope that helps you. Okay, I have another message here. Moving on with our Confession Tuesdays, 2:38. The numbers are still open. You can drop your voice note and let's do this together. This one looks very complicated though. It's a confession. Whew. And she said she's making this confession on behalf of her friend, okay, who lives abroad. Because the friend called her and was crying, okay? She said, my friend met this guy sometime last year. And when she met him, he told her that his wife had a nasty accident and was in a coma, and doctors had said that she would not live again. And that he was willing to move on with his life, having heard what the doctors had said. Now, they proceeded to get into a relationship because he had taken her. She saw the lady and it was, she talked with the nurse and even the doctor, and it was confirmed that the wife would probably never wake up again. Now, 1 year later, after having settled down with this man, the wife has woken up from the coma and it is now an issue. What should she do? Wow. This is serious. So very, very complicated indeed. I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe something we just throw out to people, because seriously, I've not heard a thing like this before too, You meet a man, he tells you his wife was involved in an accident. Doctors have given up. In fact, the doctor said she would never, that's the word you use. She might never wake up again. And having confirmed things yourself, you were comfortable enough because you felt, it looked hopeless and all of that. And now had a relationship because the guy wanted to move on with his life, right? Having been given that devastating news, and boom, now the wife is back to life and is out of that coma. What should she do? I don't know. I seriously don't know. They have to find a way of settling that too. They have to find a way around it. Okay? I don't want to judge anybody here. It's okay when, for example, people react to grief in different ways. The guy was probably grieving and could not even bear to be alone for another time. Who knows how long he had been nursing and hoping, and he decided after being given that news to move on. Only 1 year, and they're into the marriage now. 1 year into the marriage, they say the wife is now awake from her coma. Okay, let's move on from there. We'll get to talk about this hopefully tomorrow, or if you have a thing or two. I think on this one, I'll just take on 2 comments or something. We have another message here from Anonymous. Good afternoon, Barrister Swat. My confession. This is what happened 2 years ago. Now, I jokingly tell my neighbor that was pregnant, named Mama Uche, that why is she selecting clothes for her unborn baby, that she does not know the sex of her baby. Why should she be selecting female clothes for an unknown baby? After all said and done, when she was about to deliver, the baby died. Since that time, what I said is making me guilty and disturbing. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. You did not say anything inimical. You didn't say after all your baby is going to die. You were just talking about the sex of the baby. So don't feel bad. It's okay. You did not kill the baby. These things are fully in control by God, not you. It's not what you said that killed the baby. So I don't think you need to beat yourself over that. Okay, I see people calling. I think somebody wants to contribute to this. That's a very complicated story. Let me just hear 1 or 2 people and then we'll move on to other confessions. Hello?
Swat.
Hi.
Afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you doing, Amaka?
I'm Mandoli. Thank God. At least this is the first time I'm calling out.
Yes, yeah. You're welcome.
Thank you. How are you?
I'm fine.
Concerning that confession, to be honest with you, as in if I were to be the one, we marry the man together.
We'll marry him together.
Exactly. So there's nothing you can do about it. The woman woke up. The girl had the assurance that the woman might not make it or might not wake up, you know, and they went into the marriage. At least she knew that there was no obstacle on the road. She now had to go. Then now the woman is up again, regain her consciousness. What do you want her to do? Probably she's even pregnant or something like that. So I think it's the man's decision to, it will be the man to now decide. But for me, if I were to be the junior person, I will live together.
Okay.
No worries about it. Yes, we're going to live together.
All right. Anyway, thank you so much. You know, she said her friend that lives abroad. And most of these abroading people, their countries don't do polygamy, right? If you can, just send me which country, let me know, basically. Because, like, legally speaking, the man is still married to the woman, even though she was in a coma and he was told she might not wake up. Took her, she saw the doctor, talked with them, and they said, well, that's their own conclusion based on everything and the way they've monitored. Okay, so yeah, it's not her fault. Nobody's blaming her. But what should she do right now? The wife is awake. We see. Anyways, let me see. I think someone else is calling. Let me see. I'll take this one. Then we'll move on with a confession. Hello.
Yes. Good afternoon, Madam Swat.
Yes, good afternoon.
Yes, ma'am.
Welcome, Elder.
Concerning this topic, we are talking about that person in abroad. I don't want to blame the woman. Someone needs to settle down. And it's not her fault now that maybe when they was okay, he is now going to the house, do something, try to hijack the man. No, it was the man that, came to her. And these are our women in abroad. They need somebody to settle down with, because time they will come back, the age don't work out go small. So somebody here may be hard. If they have a law, it is a polygamy in that place. When you continue living together now two be that. But a man can marry 10 wives. He can marry 15. After all, my father-in-law married 36 wives.
God have mercy. Elder, I beg.
Not my father-in-law married. My father married only 4. My father-in-law married 36. So they live together in peace. Life goes on. That's my take. Thank you, ma.
All right, thank you so much. All right, let's see who is here.
Hello, good afternoon, Madam Swat.
Hi, good afternoon.
Yeah, this is Omota reading you from Galadimawa.
Welcome.
Yeah, Swat, did you say that they are now married? I mean, she and the man are now currently married?
Yeah, they are 1 year into the marriage and the wife is now awake.
But Swat, ma, if you permit me, for you to have actually gone ahead to have married a man that his wife is still alive, at least, even if the wife was said not to come alive any time or was said not to make it, for the fact that the woman is still alive, who is actually paying the bills of her being resuscitated in the hospital under the oxygen or whatever intensive care she's undergoing at that moment? And who is actually taking, responsibilities of her being there? It's still the husband. Even if the families were supporting, somehow the husband still has, the direct care to his wife for the fact that she has not been declared dead. Do you understand? So for the woman to have gone ahead to marry the man, then she should be expecting that something like this will eventually be. They say might not. So it's a probability situation. So now that the woman is up, man, I don't know. That lady may have actually made a mistake. Or if the laws, like you said, of the land where they are, I mean, of the country where they are, if it doesn't permit two wives, a man marrying twice, then she just have to go. I mean, she might have been too quick to have just allowed herself to be married to this man. She should have at least slowed him down and say, okay, let's see if your wife makes it. Until your wife is declared dead, we can now know that, okay, you can move forward.
Huh.
Do you understand?
Because thank you, very, very, important. Because number one, yeah, I thought about that too. Who was? Did he still used to go and check up on the woman? In the hopes of, baby, wake up, my wife, I still want you here, and all of that. Did he used to do that? And if he had given up so soon on the wife, so that he wanted to get married and move on with his life, then that means if the doctor says she might not leave. I know there's this thing that they normally do that would say, okay, we can't support the bill anymore. They should take off the life support, right? Or whatever is holding the woman together, except if she was not on life support and she was just lying down and she was in coma. But I think most of the time people are in coma, you get to see these machines being put in their body to support them. So there are lots of questions around it, and how long he took care of his wife, to the extent that he decided he wanted to move on. I don't know. Okay, by the way, she said it's in U.S. We know U.S. does not, well, in some states though. I mean, there are some reality show like Sister Wives where some of them do, some religious sect like the Mormon, right? You see them marry more than one. But I think generally, though, it's not an acceptable thing. So how long he took care of a woman that was in coma to the extent that he decided that, no, I've waited this long and she's not, the doctors say, and then he moves on with his life. Who knows? Did he take care of her up to maybe a year, 2 years, 3 years? And then he now decides, I've tried my best. At least I stayed this long. I need to move on with my life since she's not coming around and the doctors are not sure. So who knows? So these are some of the things that one should not be quick to judge because you don't know the full details of the story. Okay? And if we're to go about this now, I'm sure we will not finish this one. But don't worry, tomorrow we'll have enough time to still expand on this. Today, I just said, let me take one or two. Okay, I have a voice note here, so let's listen to this voice note.
Good afternoon.
What's happening? All right, let's see.
And this one. My confession is, I dated a lady for like 7 years. We've been together for that period of time. We're both hoping it's going to work out for us for marriage. But it didn't work out. After I discovered she was busy sleeping around with a particular guy who is a little bit older than her, and she claimed it's her uncle. Some of my friends that really know the man called me, told me a lot of things about the man, but I keep turning their advices down that maybe this thing is not true until the day I found out that it was true. And that fateful day I went to our house very early in the morning. It was on a Sunday, in a weekend. While I came, I knocked the door, and I found out there was a delay of response from inside. Unlike her, so I like, okay, probably it's too early because that was around 6 a.m. My plan was to call her so that we can move to church, but when I discovered she didn't respond on time, I began to have doubts overhead. To cut the long story short, I decided to hide somewhere and then find out this same man that she called her uncle came out of her room. She was living alone in that room. And I took her time to ask the neighbors around there if they know anything about the person. They said yes, he has been coming mostly weekends and spend time. Sometimes he stays Saturday, then Sunday he leaves. I got heartbroken, and then we just separated, and I am married now with two, and I discovered she kept calling my line, and still asks me to visit her. In this issue, I've been turning down all those requests. But I discovered the more I turn down, the more she persists. And when there's someone courage and told her, I guess on the Facebook you once congratulated me for being a married man. So why are you so pestering over to your house? Because I know if I get to that place, I know what will happen on this world. The question now is, what do I tell her if she calls? Because already I want to raise an issue. I want to confront her. But is it right to confront her? Thank you.
Confront her on what again? You're married, sir. You are married. If you ask me, I don't like to give direct, advice here and that, but block this lady. That's all. She's a nuisance. What does she want? She had all the opportunity. You guys could have made it work because you even turned deaf ears to advice here and there about her philandering ways. You moved on when she was cheating. I mean, what's going to change except if you want an extra booty call outside of your home? Then say, but why are you even entertaining her? I think it's not even worth it. She's not worth it. Block her social media, block her number, and focus on your family, sir. I beg you. Confront her about what? She did what she did because that's her choice. That was her choice. And she took it, knowing fully well the implication. Now, you are married, you have your kids, you have a home. You want to break your home because of that? Think about it now. It's not even worth it. So there's no need to confront her, except if, I don't know, you have other plans. But I guess it's not worth it. All right, that woman, no grief for anybody. She saw that her husband was doing another lady and she jerked back to life. This is serious, says Israel. Okay, we'll be rounding up. Don't worry, tomorrow, like I said, we'll open up the lines more for more comments. But today is just strictly confession. Swat, can human being be in coma for 1 year? Peter and Kuba, yes, of course. I read up on that too. People can be in coma for years. Lily from Kurudu said, man, assuming this woman died, couldn't he mourn for her for at least 1 year before jumping into marriage? God have mercy. Women, please take care of yourself. Men might even start proposing on the way. Keep up. Okay, Lily, that's why I said you cannot judge. You don't know how long he took care of her before he made up his mind that he needed to move on, right? I don't know. The lady didn't indicate how long the man took care of this. That's why I was telling this person that just asked, can people be in coma for years? They can be. People stay for years in coma. But it makes it more likely that they will even come to again, So you don't know how long. Who knows? And then for people, it takes them time. There are people who grieve in different ways. For some moving on for them is just the best bet. For some people, they take the longest of time because they need to heal and move on. So, yeah, you really can't say based on that, but it is what it is. Iko Kwama from Kubwa said, the woman made a mistake by marrying a man that his wife is in coma. She should have waited till the woman is buried. Or she wasn't dead, so there was no need to bury her. Someone said this case is from a movie. Well, I don't know. Good afternoon, Swat. The man is not faithful. If he is, he would have waited for at least years before taking another woman. So let him marry two of them. Alka Fred from Suleja. Swat, no hala for the double marriage. First wife has come alive because the husband wasn't patient enough to wait. Since it's abroad, one lethal injection should do the magic because polygamy is out of it. Lethal injection, you mean she should be killed? No, that should not even be considered. She made it. You're not going to give her a lethal injection. Who stand for God said the woman has issues. Even if the man's wife was fully dead, she ought to have been human enough to allow him to mourn her. But no, she went to fall in love with a man whose wife was not yet dead. So let her face the consequence of her lack of self-control. What about the man who stand for God? There are two people, two consenting individuals here, I see. Good afternoon. This Daddy Curtis from Nyanya. Okay, Daddy Curtis, the woman should find her way out of that home. I believe both were lusting on each other. And again, the survival of that woman in coma was 50-50. So she should leave the said marriage. After all, it's just a year old. She can bear it. Welson Emmanuel said, good afternoon, Barrister Swat. This girl wants to ruin this guy's marriage. He should run fast and far. Yeah, that's the last caller, right? Mouth is the name. No, but it's true now. I mean, it's just a simple, straight thing. If you want booty call, yeah, let's call it for what it is. But you shouldn't be married and talking to somebody else and confronting her for what? It happened in the past. Let the past be past, and let's move. Except if you want to have some taste of, but you know that also comes with its own consequence. So yeah, that's it. We'll stop here. I'll be back tomorrow. To be Wednesday. At a time like this, we'll be having a more open conversation with some of these issues put to the fore, and then we'll have the counseling session. Hopefully, Dr. Oladipo joins me, and then we'll get to talk some more. But for now, it's me saying goodbye to you. I'll see you tomorrow. My name is Swat. God bless you, and enjoy the rest of your day.
This is Nigeria Info.